My name's Karen Robson, I'm Lily co-ordinator. Lily stands for Living Independently in Later Years, and it's an online directory of services, organisations and social activities for older people living in West Norfolk. As well as the online directory, we have Lily advisors who are out and about in their local communities. They do home visits, they give talks at community events, and they're at community locations with mobile IT and can help people search the directory and get information, even when they're not online. We're here today to meet Pippa May, who is CEO of West Norfolk Befriending, and Jane Evans, who is CEO of West Norfolk Carers. And these are two of the 5 voluntary organisations that provide our Lily advisors. So tell me about your organisation and its work.
West Norfolk Befriending is a small local charity and we support isolated older people across West Norfolk. We're not part of any of the national charities. We are very local to West Norfolk and very small. And what we do is try to alleviate social isolation in older people. And we do that by matching the older person with a volunteer who's trained, who will visit them regularly to bring the outside world in. We are one of the delivery partners with Lily, but we were also very involved in the starting of Lily, the setting up, the developing the plan. We were very much part of that because of the fact that we work with older people.
Yeah.
So we brought with us the expertise around what older people might need in terms of information. Being a delivery partner means that we go out to local groups, local organisations to talk about Lily and to help people access Lily. And the other side of it is that we also visit one-to-one anybody who's unable to get access to Lily information themselves. And that's really important to us because the people we work with would not normally be able to access Lily. They could be hard of hearing, unable to use the phone, that type of thing.
Yeah. So what benefit has being a Lily partner had on West Norfolk Befriending as an organisation?
As an organisation, Lily has given us a lot of credibility. I think it's enabled us to reach further out into West Norfolk.
Yeah.
You know, we've always been out to local groups to talk about our work, as in West Norfolk Befriending, but it's given us access to new groups.
Yeah.
You know, new links with new parts of the community very much.
So how do you feel that Lily's made a difference to the older people in West Norfolk?
I think Lily has made a huge difference. I think it takes a while for something like Lily to get going. I think it's a drip feed thing that, you know, it builds, but it really has given people one place to go for information. I think it's good for organisations. They know where to go to get the information and the workers in it, but also for the older people that are out there. And there isn't many places these days that you go where there isn't a Lily flyer or something about Lily. When we do our talks, I always ask if people have heard of Lily, and you know, there's more and more people that have this.
Yeah.
I think Lily is a good partnership. I think the fact that it's statutory and voluntary organisations working together is quite unique and should be celebrated. But it's also, although in the West Norfolk the organisations that are part of Lily have always worked together, it has given us even more of a focus to work together.
Yeah.
You know, we've always referred to each other's agencies, but it's just given us a much closer working, which is only positive for West Norfolk and the people there. So.
Definitely. So tell me about West Norfolk Carers and the work that you do.
West Norfolk Carers support unpaid family carers of all ages. So our youngest young carer is 6 years old and our oldest is 97, and that carer is caring for his wife who's 95.
Wow.
So
It's quite a big age range you're doing
yeah,
there.
it is. It's huge.
So what is West Norfolk Carers' involvement with Lily?
With Lily, we work to support the carers who come into the service, but also anybody who is trying to live independently in later years. they may want support to find social activities. They may want to get involved with some of our carers groups. They may want information about finance, housing, and we work together with the other Lily partners to ensure that they get that information, and that's the best possible information for them, that it's personal and relevant to them.
So what benefits do you feel there's been for your organisation as working as part of Lily?
So in the first instance, it's definitely the partnership working, the feeling that around us is a virtual network of people.
Yeah.
We're not doing it by ourselves, and as I mentioned earlier, there's a lot to do,
Yeah.
and it's no organisation can do it by themselves. And also there are areas where we're not expert, we don't have that knowledge, and so to be able to speak to somebody who has that knowledge is a real bonus, and it's a great added value to the person that we're supporting. So yeah, that's really important. And we are paid to do that work, and in these financially tight times, that's extremely beneficial. I think we would struggle to do some of what we do if we weren't paid. For instance, home visits such a little bit distant, that sort of thing would be more difficult to do. And I think sometimes we have to be careful as a charity that we're not deviating too far from our central mission.
Yeah.
And so having those other organisations there and help us to maintain our focus as well, I think there are a lot of benefits.
Yeah, so you all refer amongst each other, don't you?
Yes,
with
definitely.
People you see.
Yeah.
And how do you think Lily has made a difference to older people in West Norfolk?
Recently, I gave a presentation at the Odd Fellows, and they were so interested in Lily, and one of the ladies there was very complimentary. She said, if I can remember absolutely right, you're to be complimented for doing it. We think the council's been really imaginative in the way they're doing this, and I wish there'd been something like this for me when I was struggling to look after my husband. And also during Carers Week, we had information stands all over our part of the county, and of course Lily was part of that information, and I'm not kidding you, more people were interested in Lily. They loved the pens. Yeah, but I think, joking aside, I think the fact that it's a really approachable service, it's got a friendly outward facing, and the structure that sits behind it is supportive. We're acquainted with each other. There are good working relationships between the partners, and I think all that really builds something, and it's good. Yeah, it's great that this service is here, that there isn't any pressure, that people can find it easily, which must be so helpful when you're struggling. And I think that the partnership structure that's developed and is working is excellent, and I don't see that really anywhere else. And as you know, I sit on the National Policy Committee for Carers Trust UK, and we've spoken about this, and they're actually really impressed with that setup and think there's a lot of forward thinking that's gone into it. So for me, that's a real bonus, that we kind of in some respects ahead of the game. Yeah, and again, it's something I get asked a lot. Is it just West Norfolk? Can I access this from my relative in Yorkshire, from my relative in London? Yeah. And I'm like, no, this is West Norfolk only. Yeah. So it would be lovely to see it. It would see it elsewhere, wouldn't it? Yeah.